Have you ever thought that there might be more to life than meets the eye? Are you interested in the deeper truths that go beyond what we can normally see? Today, we're going to explore a world that goes beyond the usual, using the famous Dolores Cannon's ideas and her groundbreaking work to guide us. We learn about the Indigos, a mysterious and one-of-a-kind group of souls, and the important part they play in the cosmic play of creation. Who are these strange Indigos anyway? What made them decide to come to Earth at this particular time? And is it possible that you could join them in their amazing mission? We will learn about the Indigo ray of creation in this video. Come with me as we talk about the Indigo's purpose in this time period, the problems they face, and the interesting idea of having both Indigo and Blue ray starseed traits. Learn about the deep link between the Indigo frequency and the Ajna chakra. Also, learn about how these amazing beings are preparing the way for the next wave of evolution, which will be made up of crystalline beings or crystal babies. Get ready to go on a journey that will change the way you see things and awaken your inner potential. This journey will also honor Dolores Cannon's legacy and the contributions she made to our understanding of the universe. Let's start this journey of discovery together. Indigos are a special kind of soul who come from higher dimensions but have chosen to live on Earth. They are not supposed to be perfect examples of virtue. Instead, they are supposed to look into the real world and find the hidden parts of this matrix. This video talks about who Indigos are, what our purpose is in this era, and the main problems we face. It also answers the question that many people have: can someone have qualities of both an Indigo and a Blue ray starseed? Indigos are beings from higher dimensions or densities who have come to Earth to set a new vibrational frequency. The name Indigos comes from the fact that they resonate with the Indigo ray, which is a frequency known for being able to see through lies. Indigos embody the traits of this chakra, which include perception, clarity, discernment, insight, intuition, and moral judgment. Their connection to the superconscious gives them the clairvoyant power to see beyond the limits of third-dimensional perception, giving them a wider range of points of view. Indigos play a big part in giving clear insight because they have a higher point of view and sharp perception. Our main goal is to break through the illusions that have been holding people back for a long time. Indigos naturally want to face and expose the lies and manipulations in different institutions, which clears the way for a clear view of the truth. Indigos are also leaders who make way for even higher vibrational beings, also called crystalline beings or crystal babies, to come into the world at this time. By changing the vibration of Earth and waking up people, we make it possible for these beings to share their healing and unique gifts with the world. We are the rebellious outliers, the wise old people, and the creative artists, all rolled into one dynamic whole. As Indigos, we are unpredictable. We are like a mix of a wild honey badger, a sneaky ninja, a wise shaman, and a water hose that can't be stopped. Because we have a wide range of skills, we are the spiritual warriors, the enlightening teachers, and the healing masters of our time. In the spiritual world, think of us as the Swiss Army knife, with many uses. The first group of Indigos came to Earth in the 1950s and were like pioneers. They paved the way for the next rays of creation. At first, our job was like that of scouts. We were getting the energies on Earth ready for a big event called the Harmonic Convergence of 1987. This coming together opened a doorway to the cosmos, raising Earth's vibrational frequency and making room for more Indigos, each with stronger intuitive abilities. When we enter a reality that is clouded with spiritual amnesia, like the one we live in now, we face a system that hides information from us, which makes us easier to control. This is what a system that works in the dark is all about. It's important to note, though, that I'm not talking about the good parts of darkness here. Instead, I'm talking about darkness, which is a heavy and evil force. When an Indigo walks through the threshold of a matrix that is so dark, they have to give up a lot of their intuitive power. When we accept this incarnation, we give up all of our psychic abilities and the memory of what our true purpose was. We all have to follow the same rules when it comes to religious, political, national and academic institutions. Our only tools are a piece of our gift, our natural intuition and our spiritual guides. They work hard to awaken our dormant abilities and set up coincidences that help us remember our mission. More indigos were able to come in during the harmonic convergence, this time with a vibrational frequency that helped us keep more of our natural abilities. Even though the odds may be against us, our strong intuition is the key to finding our purpose. Because they are naturally stubborn and strong-willed, indigos are known for being strong and determined. Being able to thrive in a world full of bad vibes and a lack of knowledge requires an unbreakable spirit. As indigos, our gut tells us when something is wrong, and we can't ignore it. We have to fight it every chance we get. Indigos are often seen as rebels because they like to ask questions. Unlike many other experiences, our natural instincts make it easier for us to break free from the programming that's going on here. Our guidance from the third eye and crown centers keeps us from giving in to the false hierarchies of power. Our authority comes from enlightenment, not from outside sources or power structures. Indigos are wise, but being wise isn't about showing off their knowledge. We are more interested in finding the truth and making things right. With facts about important issues like the Federal Reserve, we won't be afraid to get into long debates about things that need to be talked about. Our goal is to improve people's free will. At its most basic level, light is the same thing as information. When we talk about spiritual light, we're usually talking about knowledge, not always about being good or kind. Being aware is the same thing as being informed. Light is the same thing as consciousness, like how turning on a light in a dark room shows you more. Learning new things helps us understand them better. We don't have enough information. We don't know enough. The light makes things visible, which is a metaphor for learning, which in turn makes free will possible. Not being able to make choices based on good information is the same as not having free will. So, the Indigo's main job is to bring light into the system by revealing the Matrix's hidden parts. This brings important information to the surface and gives people power over their choices through awareness. Collectives gain the power of free will when they have a lot of information. People who are well-informed, aware, and healthy are impossible to manipulate. To stay in charge, you would have to make people less smart and keep them in a constant state of trauma, which would cause division and breakdown. Putting people in a constant state of emergency is a way to use their limbic system, which makes it harder for them to connect with their third eye. Because of this, Indigos want to improve people's free will by bringing more knowledge and insight into the world. The Indigos are not limited to a certain area or way of life. We are present in many places. Some of us have gone in ways that aren't the norm and are now the world's spiritual teachers, healers, and earth grid workers. Others, on the other hand, have subconsciously gone down more traditional paths, immersing themselves in different systems to learn and master them from the inside out. We get information and let ourselves be fully integrated. But then our spiritual guides set off an awakening that frees us from these systems. Take a look at this. Medical advice that comes from a doctor is often more reliable, and anti-war statements that come from veterans are taken more seriously. Similarly, someone with some fame has more power when they use their influence. So, Indigos can be found in all fields, from the mainstream to the alternative to the traditional. We are involved in every field, from hosting podcasts to getting PhDs, and we work non-stop to change the current toward greater consciousness. We believe that it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission, and our mantra is to wake up the masses by any means necessary. We are here in a planned and varied way to help bring about a change for the better and give people more power. When an Indigo is in the energy field, it naturally wants to fight. Not because we like conflict, but because it gives us a deep sense of purpose. Even though we have a lot of empathy, we show it in a dynamic and active way through spiritual activism. We naturally want to find out about lies, wrongs, and all the different ways they show up. But this ability to understand how others feel can also lead us astray, especially when it's used to support causes that are really psychological operations. One of the hardest things for Indigos is the chance of getting caught up in the systems we came into the world to free people from. There is a chance of becoming deeply ingrained in these systems, instead of breaking out of them after getting inside. Many times, these systems know our skills and areas of expertise better than we do. They also have a way of figuring out our paths before we even wake up. It's a sad fact that indigos are often taken advantage of, and their skills are used for psychological operations. Another common mistake is becoming too rooted in our warrior identity. Being like this can make people rigid, paranoid, overly alert, and even fundamentalist. When we think this way, we create negative feedback loops in our reality that bring in dark forces and experiences. Due to a problem with how we see things, we might mistakenly think that these interactions are positive. This fixation not only keeps us from accessing other parts of our energy field, but it also makes it harder for us to connect all the different parts of who we are. The main reason indigos are here is to raise the consciousness of everyone on Earth. We bring about spiritual awakenings by sending and receiving light, which is the same thing as information. There are big changes happening in the space-time continuum because of this process, which is pushing people toward making a new Earth real. Being both an indigo star and a blue ray is not only possible, but also very common. This is because both of these rays have a strong link to wisdom, intuition, and inner knowing. Blue rays have a magnetic field that helps change denser energies into lighter ones. So, being in tune with both indigo and blue ray frequencies makes us more intuitive and gives us a wide range of skills. In a world full of different plans, indigos stand out as the brave trailblazers who clear the way for the higher vibration crystal babies to arrive and for higher vibrational realities to become real. We know that the path to truth can be rough. It often makes things worse before it makes things better. If you're still with me, I extend my gratitude for your presence, and if you wish, consider subscribing to our channel. And remember, I have a profound love for you and hope that your life is filled with prosperity and happiness to the fullest extent possible. Thank you.